Hi everybody, this is Stephanie. Thanks for tuning in. I am doing a 12 by 12 layout. I am sharing an example of what I used to make the circle shape on my layout today. And I did it in pencil, so at the end I will be erasing the lines that still show. So I did do a sketch beforehand. It is hand-drawn, so if you couldn't really tell, don't worry. It comes out exactly in the end, like my sketch. I'm pulling out most of the Elle Studio products this time around. I've been wanting to stretch my stash and use it in other projects beyond my project life. So you can see that pattern paper to the left of those colored stripes. Those are the color schemes that I'm going to be working with, kind of like the warmer tones, definitely like this hearts-shaped chipboard that you see there on the left. I'm also going to be bringing in some stamps and more chipboard and some Timot's inks, this chipboard. So I'm going into my stash and I'm using a ton of different items, and I still keep it pretty clean and simple. So it has pops of color, but I love working on a white background here. But I do like to add in some watercoloring just to help bring in more color. So from that paper pad, I brought out these pattern papers that I'm going to work with. Again, going in the warmer tones. I thought I would bring in this blue, but I just didn't feel like I needed to add in that color this time around. So I'm going to be bringing out my circle punch and my metal dies of hearts, and I'm going to be using the smallest heart. So I'm trying to recreate a sticker that's within the chipboard. It's basically a circle with a heart on top, but I'm trying to do it in a embellishment style, cut file, however you want to call it. You'll see here in a bit what I mean. I do switch it up a little bit, and you'll see that here in a bit as well. So I'm gonna pull out a heart, trying to give you an example here, just like this sticker, and I love the way that looks. So I'm going to start cutting out my circles, and then I start cutting out my hearts. I don't know if there was an easier way of doing it, but it works out just fine. Cutting out my circles and then placing my metal die within the circle and using my sidekick to cut each little heart out. That little sidekick cutting machine is so adorable. It's so cute. It's perfect for these little dies. I've had it on my desk for so long, and I always forget to use it. Now, I thought I would do it this way, placing the heart within the circle, but kind of have it pop up. But then I liked it kind of off to the side so much more. So I'm going to do that for all the colors, and you'll be seeing it complete. Here we have it. So I really like the way that's going so far. Off camera, I wanted to stamp out my title to see if I like how this turned out. That blank in between the two and yourself is where I'm going to fit the chipboard love. I thought I would use these right here, but I don't like that it didn't give it a big pop for that word. And I feel like the black chipboard love matches with my pictures in the black that I have within my shirt. So now I'm moving on to my smushing. I'm going to smush some ink behind each of the pattern papers here. And I chose Fire Brick for the curly color to the left, and Festive Berries and Aged Mahogany for the red, Spun Sugar for the pink that you see in the upper right portion, and Milled Lavender for that fuchsia purple color, and Evergreen Bow for that mint teal color that you see at the bottom. So when I initially started the Festive Berries, I thought that was good to go, but when you do watercoloring, it does lighten up the color even more. So I'm going to pull out Aged Mahogany just to help darken it a bit to go with that pattern paper of the reds. You guys, watch this mistake. Oh my god, it could have been so much worse. I almost dropped this droplet over the part of my page where that color shouldn't be. I was so scared and thankful at the same time that could have been worse, but it wasn't, guys. Oof, talk about getting scared and scrapbooking. So that was sponge sugar, and I felt like it was too light, so I used the re-inker to help darken up that area, to help bring in more of that pinky color. Crisis averted, guys. I'm just trying to get the angle of how I want my hearts to go, and I'm going to do the same color smooshing for the bottom two colors here. I also want to mention that this self-love challenge was created by Megan Andrews on the Elle Studio Facebook group. If you haven't checked out their Facebook page, I recommend that you do so. You'll get inspired in so many different ways over there. Alright, now I'm going to start filling in my circle here with the chipboard pieces. My main focal pieces is going to be hearts, circles, or even circles with hearts in them, since that was the main inspiration this time around. And I'm also going to make sure that these hearts go with their coordinating colors. All the reds together, all the corals, that mint at the bottom, as well as the fuchsia and the pink. And I love the way this is looking so far. Can you start to see my circle form here in a bit as I add more of these chipboards in? Isn't it crazy how this layout started to form based off one embellishment, one chipboard sticker, this one right here, that has a circle with a heart inside, and I just kind of skyrocket from there. So I want to encourage you guys to look at your stash in a different way and get inspired somehow. So while I add more stickers to form my circle, I wanted to talk about the photos. These photos were taken one day when I had did a reel. I had got dressed up for once and to put some makeup on, and I did a reel on for my Instagram about my planner. And I just remember feeling really pretty, beautiful, and myself especially. I hadn't felt that way in a while. I don't know about you guys, but most of the time I don't even get dressed. I'm in regular pajama pants most of the day, and just surviving basically, and I forget to show myself love. So I don't take the time, the 10 minutes to paint my nails, half an hour to just get dressed and try. I mean, it's to the point where the first time I got dressed this year, I think it was in the middle of January, I just wasn't feeling good. I placed makeup, got dressed, actually, like, put on jeans, you know what I mean? And my middle child was like, are we, are you, are we going somewhere? And I'm just like, no. And he's like, oh, why are you dressed like that? Flat out, why are you dressed like that? And I was just like, because I felt like dressing up. I wasn't feeling good inside, so sometimes dressing out that on the outside helps the inside, I told him. And that made me realize to try a little harder for my appearance, and not for anybody else really, but just for myself, because not only will it show the kids that I can get dressed without having to go somewhere, and another to make myself feel good inside. So this title definitely reflected these photos. Don't forget to love yourself. Don't forget to spend the 10 minutes, the 20 minutes, once a week, once a month, just something. Don't forget to include yourself in that love that you spread around. So that's what these photos are. Just a day where I felt like me. I felt the love, basically. So here I am. My circle is almost complete, you guys, and I'm loving the way it's turning out. This side right here, this little cluster of coral, was just really giving me a hard time out of the entire circle. I don't know what it was. I think it's just because I was trying to angle him, and it just felt weird, but it ends up working out, thankfully. So as much as I had these soft little watercoloring here in the back, you don't see it as much, but it gave me, I guess, a bit of an anchor for each of these colors. So this is where I remembered that I wanted to place labels by my photos. And from the chipboards here, the chipboard stickers, I thought I can go with these instead. And they coordinate, obviously, with the purple, the fuchsia, and the mint. However, I didn't I didn't like that they were different style stickers. I wanted them to either both be like this label here or both be a tab. So that kind of simple thing, it could have really worked. They look nice. It totally could have done the job. But I think I just had my heart set on labels and then doing some stamp sentiments. So I'm going to go in my stash of labels. And I pull out these two labels. Now they're not 100% the same, but I felt like they were similar enough that I'm going to go ahead and commit and place two different stamp sentiments that are from a retired stamp by Kelly Stamps, which was a Australia online site that has closed down. The teal one says be kind to your mind, and the second one says unapologetically myself. And here it is all complete. I'm going to do a close-up here in a bit. I hope you got inspired in some way. I'll be placing links down below of any of the products that are still available from Elle Studio. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye, guys.